My intrigue with watches began in 2010 when I started really getting into everyday carry. I found my go-to pocket multi-tool, a solid EDC flashlight, a good sturdy wallet, a slew of pocket knives, but my wrist was still in need of a watch. And at the time, the everyday carry community kept giving praise to a particular Timex model, the Weekender. A simple black-dialed quartz watch that looked great and got the job done. It was a solid watch for only $30. And for $10 more, you have yourself a chronograph. Let's talk about it. When I first got this watch, it was wearing a slate blue leather NATO strap that just didn't hit the mark for me. I didn't even bother wearing it and slapped it on this 20mm wide 7-column steel bracelet. And as you can see, the bracelet's polish matches the casing of the Weekender Chrono quite nicely and gives it a dressy and sophisticated look. The case is 40mm in diameter before the crown, with the crown and pushers adding a few millimeters to it. After a few months of use, they still work as they should. The thickness is 9mm, which gives the watch a nice balance when looking at its profile. Here's the Weekender on a black NATO strap while we test the chronograph feature. The top pusher is the start-stop button, with the bottom pusher being the reset. The pushers don't really have a tactile click, nor does it make a sound. It's got sort of a rubbery feedback when pressing it. To use the lapse function, instead of pressing stop to pause the timing, we press the reset pusher on the bottom, which allows the chronograph timekeeping to continue internally while you record or make note of where it stopped. And after some time has lapsed and you press reset again, the second hand will jump to where the chrono timekeeping is currently. To fully reset the chronograph feature back to 0, you just press the start-stop pusher at the top and then the reset pusher to get the designated chrono hands back in place. Now let's talk about one of Timex's most admired value propositions, the electroluminescent backlight feature called Indiglo. It was introduced in 1992 and worked its way into being a notable feature in over 70% of Timex's product line. With a push of the crown, the aqua blue backlight is emitted through the dial, meaning the dial needs to be a partially transparent material for the light to shine through. You can also program the Indiglo to stay on for a few seconds, instead of having to hold the crown down. In order to do this, you press and hold the crown until you see the Indiglo pulse once. When you let go, you'll see the Indiglo stay on for a few seconds, and thereafter, each time you press the crown, it'll remember that setting. To set it back to the previous way, you just hold the crown in until you see the Indiglo pulse like we did earlier. For me, it didn't take much to appreciate the simple field design of the cream-colored dial. The Arabic numerals are easy to read, and the subdials cater to function over fashion, and the puck-like form factor of the casing fuses bold and minimal elements together. The casing isn't made of steel, however. It's a chrome coating over a brass core. One thing I do differently in terms of design is make the hands more legible. I believe their Waterbury chronographs have a more pronounced and refined approach, but I believe it's double the price. In terms of accuracy, there's not much to say really. It's an accurate quartz movement that's been tried and true, and in my experience, the time never really drifted outside of a whole second. And of course, at this price point, you should expect the watch to be protected by mineral crystal. I also have a written review of the Timex Weekender Chronograph on modernregimen.com. So after the video coming up here on Modern Regimen, feel free to go ahead and check it out. There are some angles that I didn't quite cover here on the video. In the meantime, if you're getting ready to go hiking, backpacking, or camping, I know I am desperately, feel free to go ahead and check out this video right here on how to use your watch as a compass, and this video right here if you're in the market for an inexpensive everyday watch. I'm your friend Chris Flores, reminding you to always follow your regimen. I'll catch you on the next one.